Are you struggling to make your product more profitable? In this video, I'm going to share with you 5 simple yet powerful ways to grow your product profits very quickly. These steps are actionable, they're effective, and they're actually perfect for anyone who wants to maximize revenue. So let's get going. Step 1, you gotta focus on your best-selling features for your products. Double down on what's already working. Every product has features or offerings that really drive the majority of its revenue. You've got to identify these and focus your efforts here before you just pile on with new features and other things. Use your analytics tools to see what people are clicking on, or do follow-up user research to pinpoint which features are most profitable with your customers, and then on the back end, which ones are the most profitable for you as a business. Once you identify that, you got to amplify them. How do you do this? You can do more marketing. You can bundle those with other offerings, or just keep improving the user experience around this one feature until it's so good it's irresistible and really sets you apart in the marketplace. Let me give you an example. Let's just say you're a sales as a service company, otherwise known as SaaS, kind of like Mint. And the analytics dashboard is the most used feature. This is the thing people are looking at. These are the things people are using more than any other part of your application. So you need to invest in making this one part better to create premium analytics tools. You can highlight this in your marketing and attract even more customers to this one feature. Let me give you an insider tip. Avoid what I'm calling the kitchen sink syndrome, which means you just throw everything in your app because you think it might have value. While this seems to make sense on the surface, it actually has tremendous diminishing returns, because the more stuff you put in increases the factor of learning to use it exponentially. It's like a Swiss Army knife. Now, if you know that the number one tool in the Swiss Army knife is the knife, you need to make sure the knife is absolutely world class before you start piling things in like tweezers and toothpicks and files and all these other things. Because if you do that, you're simply just making it that much more difficult to find the knife, because they got to pull 3 or 4 different things out at a time to get to the knife. It's very common, and I see it all the time. Someone says maybe they want to use a toothpick, so they put a toothpick in the Swiss Army knife. If your research shows that people rarely use the toothpick, then don't even put it in there. That's going to make the Swiss Army knife that much easier to use. The same thing goes for your application. Be very careful of piling on feature after feature after feature. You're going to increase the cognitive load on your users, and you're going to make it more complex and more difficult to use, and run the risk of having people uninstall it or just stop using it. Remember, feature bloat is a product killer. Step 2, you want to upsell and cross-sell to your existing customers. It's actually easier and more cost-effective to sell to existing customers than it is to acquire new ones. Now, I can tell you, in my 25 years of product design, I've always seen it the opposite. We need more customers, we need more members, we need more this, more that. Most of the time, marketing teams and business owners and product owners think the key is to get more customers, and they severely neglect the opportunity to upsell and nurture those people that have already given you the gift of their time and their money. A quick example: if you run an online store selling coffee machines, offer existing customers a subscription service for coffee beans or premium cleaning supplies at the checkout. Have a brainstorming session with your team, or mind map it if you're doing it yourself, on ways that you can give value to your existing customers. And with this, your word of mouth referral will grow, and a profit improvement is almost guaranteed. With existing customers, you can offer upgrades, you can unlock premium features, or give them complimentary products that already add value to their experience. For example, if you're selling software, just create a professional tier with exclusive benefits. Have a bias towards treating your existing customers like kings and queens before you go too crazy trying to garner even more customers. Step 3, revisit and optimize your pricing strategy. You've got to rethink your pricing. Small changes in pricing can actually have a huge impact on profitability. But pricing alone isn't just about charging more, it's about aligning value with the perception they have to your product or service. How do you get this just right? Well, consider experimenting with tiered pricing, limited time discounts, or even value-based pricing, where you charge based on the problem your product solves. Here's a great example on how to do this right. There is a psychological phenomenon where humans tend to choose the middle price when they're presented with three options, and this is called the middle option bias. How does this work? Let's just say you have some product, doesn't matter what it is. The first tier is $1, and you call this the economy option. The middle tier is $5, and you call this the express option. The third tier is $10, and you call this the premium option. Statistically, most of your sales are always going to come from the middle option because of anchoring. People are trying to make sense in their mind of the value and how much they should pay for your service, but they have no idea really what it's worth. So with this three-tiered anchoring system, they start deducing in their mind, okay, this is the cheap version of it, this is the most expensive version of it, the middle is just about right. It really works for almost any dollar amount unless you're talking about really expensive stuff. So if the middle price is where you want to make sales and you know that's an optimal profit range for you while also giving you lots of sales, now you know how to get people to pick it. Have the price point you want in the middle of a three-tiered system. Step 4, you got to reduce unnecessary costs. This is where you cut the fat. Growing profits isn't just about earning more, it's about spending wisely. And ask yourself, are there costs that you can trim without impacting the user experience? Now notice I said without impacting the user experience. If you cut costs, but it dramatically reduces people's value in your product, that's a deal breaker because that's going to lead to low reviews and low word of mouth referrals. So you can't cut costs at the expense of user experience. As a general rule of thumb, for example, if you run an e-commerce company, then you can reduce your costs by switching to a more affordable shipping provider and automating their inventory management process. This could save thousands of dollars annually. But just remember, you cannot save your way to success. You must continue to add value to your product and find what's just the right price point that gets people to pay for your offering. Step 5, you have to invest in customer retention. Once you have them, you don't want them to leave you, right? To do this, think about how you're going to improve things like your customer support, building a community around your product, or even implementing a loyalty program to encourage existing customers to repeat purchases with you. Here's an example. Let's just say you had a fitness app and you add value by creating a Facebook community where users can share progress and encourage each other while also promoting annual memberships for long-term users. Or you could send a monthly newsletter filled with helpful tips. These strategies I just mentioned to invest in customer retention are going to keep customers with you and be less likely to leave you because there's all these other benefits that they would lose if they did disengage with your product. Okay, there you have it, quick and to the point. 5 proven ways to grow your product profits quickly. Let's go through them again. Number 1, focus and amplify your product's best features. 2, upsell to your existing customers. Step 3, optimize your pricing using anchoring or other methods. And step 4, cut your unnecessary costs, but be careful to not do this at the expense of your customer experience. Step 5, invest in retaining the customers you work so hard to get, right? You don't want them to walk out the door and leave you forever. Okay, you made it to the end of the video. Thank you for watching. If it was valuable, please hit the like button and let me know in the comments which strategy you're excited to try. I'd love to hear how it worked for you. If you're interested, my qualifications on this topic are in the description. Jamie out, and I'll see you in the next video.